Alright, a very good morning. It's a Tuesday edition of the Kokoliriko show. My name is Federick Dramadri. It's a Boxing Day, 26th of December 2023. We're left with 5 days to move away from 2023 and now making sure that we move to 2024, and this is the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday. We'll be taking you up to the hour of 9 a.m. from this hour and discussing a lot of issues that are happening, or how people celebrated and what messages came out, and also new developments in the military that will be also moving into. That is one of the big stories that we have that we'll be also discussing here with you. Remember, those of you who we are able to make it to those happening places, I hope you kept well of your health and your security, but also many other places where people went to celebrate the Christmas, and it was a very joyful day. And I remember that a lot of messages were tailored towards pledges and also peace, reconciliation, and also unity among people. These are major points that have been cited. But the good story is that security has been all around, and we have not had those bomb blasts, those that were said to be scaring and so on. And this is the beauty that we always want to see in any event that comes on our way, okay? And that's very, very important. For those of you who are watching us in Arua City, we say thank you very, very much for joining us, and also we'll be happy and glad to say, maybe share a lot with you, and also those who are watching us from Arua City, Arua District, and then those from Terego, Mariokolo, not forgetting those from Boko, Maracha, and those are from Yumbe District. We say thank you for joining us, and I hope that you celebrated it well, and you can share with us how your celebrations went, and also what is it that you have to say to others that you have been able to make it successful to these celebrations. And also those of you who are watching us from the Madi sub-region, not forgetting those from Obonge district, and those from Moyo, and then those from our Juman district. We say thank you very, very much. You're most welcome to this show. And those are from Madi and Lurusha region, not forgetting those from Zombo district, that is Paida Town Council, and also the district at large, including those from Nebi municipality and Nebi district, and those are at the gate of West Nile, that is Pakwasi district. We don't leave you behind. And those of you who are watching us from Langwa and Cholisha regions, we say thank you for joining us now, and also those from Central, Eastern, and some parts of Western region of Uganda. We say thank you for being part of this show, and we'll be moving together with you. And those from diaspora, I mean those who are watching us from outside Uganda, we say thank you and welcome you home to Western region. This is the Western television located on Weatherhead Park Lane, that is in Arua City, and we are here to provide you the information on current affairs, and also what you need to know that you have been able to maybe not been able to come across, is what we'll be discussing with you here. And most of the issues that we see here, a lot of the stories are around Christmas, how meat, people have been able to consume contaminated meat in different parts of this country. There's issue to do with hygiene, issues to do with the slaughterhouse, the issues to do with how maybe where this meat has been got from. Some of the animals have not been inspected before slaughter. This is the issue that is happening. Much as in some areas meat is being kept very well, but some parts of this country, especially here in Arua City, where we have a dilapidated structure to really give people meat and so on, is where really there's a lot of problem, and that's one health issue that needed to be addressed. Remember, this facility was constructed in the year 1930s, okay, 1930s, and up to date we are consuming meat from that same structure. It has dilapidated rooms and so on. Even currently in case of emergencies, even the incinerator operators are not there. In case of an animal disease detected there, it's hard for people to actually look at that issues, maybe issues to do with banning some of those kind of animal products and so on. That is one thing that has happened. They will be moving to that, and also understanding somehow how people celebrated the Christmas, what messages are still there, and also what you need to know before we complete this year. That is what is very, very important for you as a take from this show, but also many other issues. Remember the reshuffle that the president has communicated, and the Uganda People's Defense Forces is another big issue there that is happening. And across the globe, you realize that the cases of people dying in Democratic Republic of Congo is also increasing. Remember, yesterday there were 20 death cases registered in especially the eastern part of DRC, and this is coming out from the issues to do with landslides and also heavy rains that are devastating there. Remember, the issues of election results is still also another issue that is happening in DRC. Remember, the results have not yet been released, but already activists are already speculating that there's a lot of rigging that is happening there, and that's why the results are not coming forth, and they are becoming impatient. That is what is actually happening in DRC. But also in other parts of Africa, the day was celebrated in darkness, especially when some of the people continue to die due to hunger, when others die due to climatic conditions, is what is actually happening. We'll be moving to that. And also, how about food security is another issue that is already on the rise across the world. That's one thing that is happening. And also, for those of you who will want to be part of the show, we don't leave you behind. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on Zuku channel, that is 04733, and that's where you'll be able to get us there. And also, those of you who are watching us from other platforms, maybe Twitter, Facebook, and so on, we are live there. You can be able to really click on the link and be able to join the show. But you can share with us how you celebrated the day in your various places, and really what it means to you as a passion, but also your family is very, very important. Also, maybe what message you want to share with other people outside there. We have seen many already crying that they had actually spent a lot of money that was not budgeted. This is a kind of regret that many people are actually talking about. So for you, what is it that you have to say in relation to the day that you spent yesterday, and what is it that you plan to do forth? That's what for me, I spent mine actually attending the children party, looking at what the children were doing, the various activities. I was so much impressed with the talent showcased by the children, especially in Western region. There were so many children who were able to actually show their talent, like in dancing competition, debate, a lot of things, including swimming competition. That is a very, very important thing. Some of the styles that children were able to show were the first time that I was able to watch, for sure. And this means our children have a lot of talent that is hidden. So if we have those kind of competitions brought to them, they are able to actually do a lot in terms of that. And that's where really I spend a lot of my time watching that up to the hour of 8 p.m. and I had to go and relax. How did you spend yours is what we are talking about. It's very important that you also have the best of your sharing, which will be able to get it live here. But also there are so many people who we are able to move to other places. How did they spend theirs? Unfortunately, we are able to get one sad news that some people went for disco, and it happened that the girlfriend that was maybe paid the gate fee by one of the boyfriends decided to move in and find another lover who was ahead and decided to move with the other one, and this really brought a lot of issues. People fought and so on. Unfortunately, one of the boyfriends was killed. This is the unfortunate bit of the celebrations. Earlier, as we were discussing in the Christmas bonanza that we talked about yesterday, we talked so much about safety and security, but also looking at how you should be able to celebrate the day in a peaceful manner, how you should be able to really move away from these issues of fighting, conflicts, and so on. And this was what we emphasized earlier. Even security said this on Friday, and I thought people had taken really serious messages from that. But this unfortunate incident happened yesterday in a rural city, and we are yet to see really whether the culprits will be brought to book or not. And that is one quite unfortunate thing. Your life matters. It is in you that you can easily protect it. There's no one who is going to safeguard you from any kind of eventuality that will happen. So it's you who is actually supposed to take responsibility of your health, everything that is concerning you is in your hands. Not your parents, not anybody else, but it's you who is supposed to do it. But if you fail to do that kind of thing, you may not really be able to take your life longer, extra mile, or do some other things that are beyond maybe this year. Okay, so it's upon you to look at that. Much as people may guide you, people may give you that advice, but if you don't take it seriously and you take it for granted, that means you'll be able to face such kind of challenges that may come on your way. So very, very important if we take it serious from that kind of things. And many of the family members disintegrated yesterday. I don't know how yours ended, and we hope that we mind of the life of the children that we're raising, especially as we are just left with a few, roughly 1 month to the start of schools. Okay, the opening of schools official, that will be on 5th of February, where most of the children will be reporting to school. So how are you preparing yourself is the issue that we have now at table. But also, as we also have another celebration, that is the New Year celebrations, that will be from the 1st. Okay, the 1st of January is every time where people celebrate the New Year and have also massive celebrations. They spend a lot in this type of activities. So what is it that you are planning for your children to go to school? What is it that you are planning maybe to uplift your family? And also, what is it that you haven't planned? This is where you have to sit and reflect on the plans for next year, and make your proposals very well, and make sure that they are approved before the 1st of January, because that's where you start counting. So when you don't prioritize certain things on within these 5 days, you may not be able to catch up with the 2024, because if you plan when the year has started, that means you've lost some time, and you'll be counting less by certain days or months. That will be quite unfortunate when you are supposed to implement some of the maybe plans in the early days or in the early months of the year possible. So that is it, and there's a lot that will be bringing to you that we have. And remember, the normal programming starts today, as we will be taking it up to the new year. Okay, from this Kokoliriko show, we'll be having the news in Lubarati. That will be coming from the hour of 9 sharp up to about 9:30 a.m. and thereafter that will take you to the Northern Request Hour. That is where you will have back-to-back plays of the music that we have in Northern Uganda. You can ask any music and that will be played there immediately for you. And you can use the YouTube channel to request for that music, or you can use the different social media platforms, especially the Facebook, the WhatsApp group, that is West Nile TV. That's where you'll be able to actually put which music you want to actually watch. That's when you'll be served very, very well by the producer, that is Boniface, who will be there seated to really do that for you. But also thereafter we'll be having many other shows that will be coming on, and also you'll be getting the news bulletin in Alur, that is Lemangia, that will be brought to you by Peace or Chuck, that is aka Jalusiga, who will be there taking you out from the hour of midday up to past midday, and thereafter you'll be getting the whistle time at 2. That will be really brought to you by the Benson Pastore and his team, that is Suzy Linda and Ezaga, who will be also there taking you up to the hour of 3 p.m. and thereafter you have a show that is movies, which will be taking you up to the hour of 5, where you'll have the Chuk Chuk time, okay, the entertainment show that will be brought to you by Hassan the Big Brother, who will be there with Liz Hannes, and also the DJs that will be having there, and that will be taking you up to the hour of 6 up to actually from 5 to the hour of 7 p.m. where you will have the news in English, that is the Nilecast, that will be brought to you by Kokoliriko Christine, who will be diving into those top stories and big stories that will be happening in the due course of the day, and that will be taking you to other evening programs. And that is the program lineup for the day, and very quite interesting. If you want to do business with the TV, that's where you can be able to see which program to sponsor, okay, very, very important, very cheaply, and you'll see your products going far in terms of marketing, in terms of any other thing. Even you can bring your New Year message. I will be able to air them here immediately. But if you want to do businesses with the television, you can use the official email to write to them, and that is West Nile TV station at gmail.com. That way you'll be able to interact directly with the people responsible with the issues of businesses, with the issues to do with any other concern you have with the programming, or you want to maybe sponsor, you want to advertise your program, your activities, or you want to make announcements, that will be done immediately. But also, if you want to feature or do live stream or programming here on the television, we welcome you. You can easily walk to the station and also have that business done. We'll be able to stream your event live. We'll be able to do that for you as a television, okay? It's very, very important that this television is open to discussing those kind of businesses with you, that you will be able to see that done immediately at a low cost, and also you'll be able to see your event broadcasted, okay? That's very, very important. But for talk shows, you can also come to the television station. We are wide enough to accommodate you to also pass in your information to the people, the targeted audience, targeted viewers that you have, will be able to move to them. But also, if you have other events that you have, I will be able to actually broadcast those very, very well for you. In case you have functions, in case you have other events, you are organizing workshops, you are organizing other engagements that are really pertinent, you want them to be streamed on the TV, that is what we can do for you. But also, you have other products, maybe you are dealing in businesses of different type. we have that slot for you. You can come to the station, walk here, we'll be able to do that for you immediately and at a low cost, where you have the quality that you demand. We'll be able to do that for you as long as you come here and do that business with the television. We appreciate you. But also, as we're here, we deliver a lot in terms of shaping the region, in terms of making sure East Africa grows, in making sure Africa remains as the biggest continent, in terms of exposing the materials, okay, the raw materials that we have, in terms of advertising, in terms of marketing, in terms of making sure that Africa is seen on the map and signing. That's what we are here up to, and that's why we have the slot that is named to be the lighting up the region. The region is so broad that will be there dealing with and many other issues that will be coming after this break. Let's take a break. We'll be coming back and do a lot with you here after. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Tap your family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTimes upgrade to Kongere promotion. Novel customers on antenna decoder simply pay 16,000 shillings, Copper Bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy basic bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. Even better, we have added all your favorite local channels. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
This is time for working hard and producing and able to help somebody who is in need. Able to give to your loved ones. This is time for giving, for God so loved us and gave his only begotten Son. Do not go taking, give, and then you will receive. If you are planning to rob somebody, listen to me carefully, God is not happy with that. If you are planning to steal people's things, God is not happy with that. Destroy everything that makes you an enemy of your neighbor. It's only God who can destroy those tendencies in your life and that habit in your life, so that instead of taking, you are a giver, because we need to demonstrate love in our time. Again, this is not time for sexual immorality, but this is time for us to prepare ourselves to receive the blessing of God. Many of us are going to waste our bodies in going into people's homes and going with people's wives and going with people's daughters, and we are going to waste our lives out there. Listen, this is time for you to open your heart, open your hands, and receive the blessing of God. I speak to people who are listening to me. If you're listening to me and you are in West Nile, my region, will you make your body the temple of the Holy Spirit and guard it? Allow your body to be used to bless our region. Do not destroy somebody's relationship by misusing his wife or his daughter. Allow yourself to be a channel of blessing, because God brings you his life in order to bless other people. Again, this is not time for dancing the whole night. Some people are going to go into dancing spree, in discos and everything the whole night. In my place where I am seated, the devil has only given and deprived people who are wizards to dance at night. Why do they dance at night? Because they dance naked, which they can't do during the day. Why are you deprived of sleep when you should eat and drink and praise God and go to bed and sleep? Then go and worship God tomorrow without an hangover. Dancing at night, going to spend time out there with other women, with other girls, with other men, is not going to give you any benefit of celebrating such a day as this. And this is the time for praises. This is a time for worship of God, because God has given us a gift that we cannot afford.
As the smiles turn Christmas and the bells jingle, dress yourself up for the stunning aroma of togetherness this festive season. Remember also to take care of yourself, a partner, family from fangs of violence and financial misuse. Receive my heartfelt gratitude and love for the support you showed towards us. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and prosperous business year 2024.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that commercial break. Earlier on I told you that there's a lot that we'll be discussing with you on especially how you celebrated your Christmas. Generally in Uganda, the Christmas celebrations have been peaceful, and that's one pride we have about the security and also many other issues, and that is what is coming up from the security first of all, and also looking at the minor offenses. Most of them have been the issues to do with theft, okay? Most of the petty crimes that are not really capital in nature are the ones that are actually shaping a lot of the discussions here, and that's something that will be sorted out. And if you look at the current complaints here about missing phones and so on, sure, that is it, but we may not go much into that. And let's move to this story of most of the meat consumed being really not really safe, and that is in relation to, remember, the stories around the outbreak of anthrax in most of the districts in the region, in the country, okay? And this started from western, okay? It started from western region, came to eastern region, and northern Uganda has never been neglected in terms of the zoonotic diseases, and this have been there persistently, especially in western region, and this has been mostly witnessed in the belts of lower okay, the Albertine belt, okay, that is Madiokolo, talk about Terego, talk about Yumbe, talk about Obongi, and many other districts. And this is where most times, especially also including actually Pakwach, where the cases of zoonotic diseases, especially anthrax, the major okay, talk about other diseases that affect the animals, including those that you may talk about, the anthrax, the Rift Valley fever, and many others that you will talk about. But if you look at the meat consumption rate that we have in Uganda, is seen to be the highest in terms of the people who slaughter animals not from designated places and so on. This is where the concern is. And if we look at what is happening currently, there are worries that many people might have consumed dirty meat. This is from places that are not being inspected. Even the animals have not been inspected. Some of the animals were slaughtered while they were sick because now people did not really take keen interest in checking the quality of the animals they are slaughtering, especially in most of the rural areas. People slaughter animals, they don't involve the veterinary officers or the veterinary assistants at sub-county level to come and check the quality of the meat. But worst enough is the biggest facility that is constructed in a rural city to help in as a slaughter site for the animals, especially the butchery that we have there. And you realize that the abattoir itself that we are talking about really has the capacity to accommodate only 60 goats per day, and also it will be only slaughter 20 heads of cattle per day. But currently we have seen the increase of slaughters, okay, the increase of slaughter in the abattoir that has gone up to 60 that type. That means it is times 3 the normal capacity of the abattoir, and this is one thing that is bringing a lot of worries. If you look at the structure facility itself, it's very dilapidated. It doesn't have really, it has leaking roofs and floor. Okay, the floor is not really well cemented. Okay, currently the cement has worn out, it's out of date, and also if you look at the walls, they have a lot of cracks where you see cockroaches moving around. You have a lot of moles, okay, including mouse. Okay, they are all in the room. So how safe is the meat that we're consuming from that facility is what we are talking about. But also looking at where the animals are kept, there is no space for lineage, where you mix animals that are just of recent brought, and you mix them with those that are already inspected for slaughter. That means the animals that have just come will be able to actually spread the disease that they maybe have contracted elsewhere, have come in with, because they are mixed up at that point. But also this abattoir is seen to be one of the spaces that is providing marketing ground for animals, and it is seen to be one of the facilities where people can go and buy live animals, and which is quite bad for the purposes of the health of the animals, the health of the people who are consuming the meat, and so on. It's quite very bad. But also if you look at the doctor's room in that facility, it has dilapidated facilities. It has actually the slab where they put the meat. Most of them are already broken, and it's hard for the doctors to actually inspect meat. Ideally, meat is supposed to be actually the inspection starts from the animals. You check whether the animal has diseases first, then the slaughter comes in later on. A non-healthy animal is not supposed to be slaughtered, but because of this mixed up, where you find there's a lineage and a mixture of the one-stop center where animals are supposed to be kept for quite a long shorter period of time under monitoring and inspection. These animals are not inspected, so that's where you see a lot of issues to do with animals contracting diseases, animals spreading these diseases to other humans in form of the meat that people consume, and that's where the concerns are. But also in other parts of this country, you realize that some of the facilities are good in condition, especially in Masaka, where you see the abattoir is is separated from the slaughter slab, and also the slaughter slab is somehow away from the doctor's room, and where you see the meat is processed and taken to where the trucks that will be taking meat to the butchery is where it is separated from the slaughter slab, and this keeps the meat very, very safe, and also it doesn't make meat dirty. Okay, if we look at also where their lairage is, the lairage is where you keep the animals. Where the animals that you are supposed to be slaughtered, you keep them somewhere away from the butchery or the abattoir where the animals are going to be slaughtered, because separating this makes it easier to detect whether the animals have diseases, but also looking at whether the animal is pregnant. Okay, pregnant animals are not supposed to be slaughtered. That is one other issue, because it is against the Veterinary Act. When you slaughter a pregnant animal, ideally you are supposed to be jailed for 1 full year, because you are violating the right of the animal. Okay, the animal that is already in or the calf that is already growing in the womb of this animal should also survive. That's one thing. Okay, according to that law, the animal, if you look at that Animal Act, okay, the animal is supposed to first bear the calf. Okay, now when the calf is out, it has matured. Now when you feel like you want to slaughter the male or the cattle, it's a swath, you can slaughter it. But if you slaughter it when it is pregnant, that means you have issues. Okay, you can easily be arrested and also prosecuted for violating the Animal and Veterinary Act that is already established as a statutory law, which is there to really grant the right for the animals to live. And also many other things that are supposed to be considered in the lairage, but because we don't have anything like that of that sort in a rural city, and this brings a lot of issues in terms of keeping the animals safe, keeping the health of the people, okay, and also maintaining hygiene in the abattoir is one thing that is also challenging in terms of that. But also, if you look at some of the missing components that you have in that abattoir, you realize that the sewage system is already broken. It is no longer working very, very effective. So that means people have to take the waste products to the sewage point, and releasing this needs a lot of energy now to be deployed. But also, if you look at where the waste is supposed to be burned, I mean the incinerator that was established, the incinerator currently is down, it doesn't work, and also burning those animal products becomes difficult, especially some animals might have died. You want to maybe dispose of the carcass, and you find sometimes burning, maybe putting it or burning it is bad, because sometimes some of these infections or some of these diseases may not really go at ease. They need to be burned completely so that they don't remain the spores of these diseases, okay, do not remain in the soil for quite a longer period of time. We have seen this with anthrax that has been so much into Madiokolo district, especially in Power and Rhinokem sub-counties, where you have been able to see that a lot of quarantine has been instituted by Ministry of Animal Industries and Fisheries, that is MAIF, where you see a lot of animals have been dying because of this. where many people come in and consume those animals. They have been always feeling the impact of the disease that has been transmitted to them through the dead carcass. I mean the meat from the dead animals and so on that have been consumed. And if those things are not buried, that means if we bury them, any animal that comes and eats the grass around that area will be able to contract such a disease. So it's really needed, so much needed, that such a facility has to be functional to avoid some of those kind of things. We show some of the animals that have had maybe died of other diseases rotting on the compound of the abattoir. This is one other thing that is quite difficult. So we need to take care of the meat we consume if we want to export meat outside Uganda. If we want to also consume that healthy animal, if we want to consume that healthy meat that is free of diseases, that's where we'll be able to have the good image, the good health that we will need from this kind of facilities, that kind of food stuff that we need for our well-being. But if we don't consume the best one, you will easily fall sick. We've seen people complain about brucellosis. We've seen people complain about other diseases that some people call ZAZO, the meat diseases you contract from eating contaminated meat. That is it. And this can easily be prevented if we take extra care. There are some people who maybe they might have stolen the animal, they want to slaughter it at night without notifying the authorities who are supposed to inspect and grant permission for the slaughter of such an animal. And also the people who are supposed to say, yes, this meat is worth selling to the public, this meat is worth selling or consuming, okay, for the public. And that is it, and that is one of the dangerous loopholes that we're always seeing. Sometimes the people who are supposed to inspect the meat are compromised by the fact that some of them will want to go and ask for money or ask for meat in exchange of approving the meat. So how genuine will your results be? For instance, if somebody comes and says, maybe I'm coming to inspect this meat you have slaughtered, the animals you have slaughtered, if the person is supposed to be transparent, he's not supposed to ask for money. Because if you ask for money, you will be compromised, you will be taken up, and you will not be able to say, yes, this animal is not worth to be sold. Go and bury the meat or go and burn the meat. You will not say that, because you're also interested in the meat. You're also interested in the money that is got from the meat. So how sure are you that after picking the money, you will be able to stop the people from proceeding to sell the meat to the members of the public? And that's one thing that is happening there. But also, sometimes some of these animals die of the dangerous diseases that we're talking about, like anthrax, like Rift Valley fever, okay, like many others that you know. Okay, those bacterial infections and so on, that would not be consumed. But because people slaughter animals at night, sometimes people want to move with animals at night notoriously, when even the law says that you are not supposed to move with animals at night, is one thing that we should be able to really take seriously. Authorities should be vigilant, especially the LC ones at that village level. The VSTs, let's be in the watch, in the look of what is actually happening. Because if we don't react, if we don't act proactively, we will not be able to save our people, we will not be able to bridge the gap, we will not be able to actually do a lot in terms of saving the community, but also compact the animal diseases from spreading to other animals that we have. It's a very important thing we should be able to take seriously if we want to really move away from that act of people contracting diseases, animal contracting diseases, and cases of animal theft increasing. We could prevent this if we stop people from slaughtering animals at night, if we stop people from moving with animals at night, if we stop people from slaughtering animals in dirty places. That is the mandate of the veterinary assistants in the sub-counties, and also the district veterinary officers in the districts and cities. It's very, very important for us to take this a serious issue that we should be able to take seriously in most occasions that we have. But also in some of the business places yesterday, there were issues to do with the prices of meat increasing. This was actually attributed to the issues of animal transportation from Lango and the Cholcha regions, and also some parts of eastern Uganda, where people get most of these animals from. You realize that animals like the cattle and goats are mostly imported, and this is because most of the people in our locality do not actually engage so much into growing or rearing these animals. Okay, and now because people don't rear animals so much, diseases are transported as they bring in some of these animals. Because of that, you realize that cost of all the charges levied on people who want to maybe deal in these animals, maybe in terms of slaughtering them, in terms of selling them when they are alive, but also buying for other purposes, maybe marriage ceremonies and also many other things, becomes difficult to trace the origin of the disease that has come to your kraal, that has come to your farm. Okay, so we need to be extra carefully, carefully, and also be able to understand that we need to actually keep these animals within our vicinities. If we want to be good farmers, if we want to actually tap into the opportunity that exists outside the issues to do with always being on commission. We have vacant land in the western region. We have a lot of green pasture that is just drying itself by itself, where animals are not being able to consume all of it. It's one thing that we should be able to take seriously and engage our farmers into productive works, and also make sure that we move on to stop people from moving with the animals at night, stop people from slaughtering animals at night. Okay, we have seen a lot of issues to do with the theft of animals increasing in most of the villages, in most of the people's kraals and so on. People have complained, but the animals have not been traced. There are people who go and ferry other people's animals with trucks from the kraals because of insecurity. People don't want to guard their animals even at night, and this puts the life of the people at risk. Sometimes people want to sleep with the animals in the rooms and so on, and this really is one bad thing you always see or witness or talk about as an individual, as a person who is concerned. And looking at all these scenarios, we should be able to address it technically. We should be able to look at the available laws that are established to ensure that we stop some of this kind of issues that are happening. We make sure that people consume the healthy meat, people are able to be healthier, people are able to also be seen, also be expected to be seen in the following day, that they are able to do the needful for themselves. And that is it. Let's take a break from here. We will be actually coming back with more of the stories that we have. And also, it's very, very important for you to share with us your comments on the topical issues that we are discussing here, and also understand what is happening at your area currently. Thank you very much. Let's take a break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Sub your family the bigger feast this Christmas with Star Times upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on satellite decoder simply pay 20,000 shillings special bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy smart bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, help your family.
Modi pilubara award for many of zo West Nile TV be sawadia serese mvema mkulia Lawrence eola zalapi mini etunani udualoni pere uduazia sere wangi natalini recha mani vuari kanimalo iya mavukini le wangiri ama injiri letasi asianjusi vini kisi kanyanya uduambudi onyero.
Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Hi everyone, my name is Ayot Lillian. I host Real Talk on West Nile TV every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. And I know this time of the year is when we get together with friends, family, our loved ones to make merry and have fun, share joy and love. I would love to wish you a Merry Christmas and also caution you to be very careful during this season because a lot of excitement takes place around this time, so we should be careful how we party and especially how we use the road because around this time a lot of accidents do occur, so use the road carefully so that it's a safe place for everyone. Otherwise, from West Nile TV, thank you so much for watching us. Keep watching us for more updates and enjoy your Christmas. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas.
Modi pilubara.
My number one message is Christmas is all about love. Go show love to your people. Many times we show a lot of love to people in bars and wherever, and we forget that during our loneliest moments, it is normally family that surrounds us. Use this opportunity to show family your love.
I'm one of the famous rapper called Ice Cube, who said, as you don't let your pursuit of wealth ruin your health. Because the best thing in life is life.
Yeah.
So you're more valuable alive than in any other state. So please mind yourselves. Be very cautious of the things you do and enjoy the festive season.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that commercial break. Earlier on, I told you that we are still celebrating the Christmas. Christmas is celebrated for 40 days for those of you who are Christians, okay? You must understand that we continue to pray, we continue to do different things and so on. And that's why some of many people are still putting on that sign that with a red top and so on, that hood that is red and white decorated like that is to signal the birth of a baby, okay? It's a birthday kind of thing, and this goes up to the 40th day, and that is in the calendar, okay? So you should be able to know that Christmas has not ended. The birth of the Lord Jesus Christ continues to be celebrated up to the end of the 40th day. And remember, today is a big day also. That is the Boxing Day. Sometimes they say the Joseph the Worker. A lot of things happen there. St. Stephen's Day is today. Also, for those who are Christians, you can go to the churches and do some celebration there, and also that is what it means. But also those this is the very time most of the people who had slaughtered animals at home today will be eating the head of the animal. Sometimes they used to say Dramadri Federick. So the meat that was left is eaten today, and that is on Boxing Day, where people come back to evaluate how they spend the Christmas, how they were able, what went wrong. That's where families sit down and evaluate their plans, their activities, and so on. What they did, what went wrong, what went good, how should we improve, and so on. This is the time that most people now sit together and do that together, and really do it together, and make sure that all goes in the way right direction. Okay, what we preach for is really teamwork in a family. If you do it together, you'll be able to actually move far. If you are not really united, sometimes the stress can take you apart, okay? The stress can take one's life. If you can't console one party, or if you can't console yourselves as human beings in your family, and even children, if you don't give children the necessary support, sometimes children take to the streets, children go to the neighbors, they go and really make their life hard for you as a parent, because you have not concentrated so much into giving them guidance, into really accepting to have the best with them. And that is what we hope to do with you. But also for those of you who are watching us online, this is the time that you can be able to actually share with us how you want the programming, or what you have seen has gone best for you at West Nile TV. This is the time. We want to evaluate this year, and you share with us on that YouTube channel, or you can use the WhatsApp group to drop your comments, and also share with us how we have been able to move on with you, and we want to see that done. That's where we'll be able to see how the programming is really doing for you, and also what you think can be improved, what you think is not going on well, you can put it there. What you think is also good, it's good to say thanks where it is due, okay? When you see something is going on well, you say this is good. Or when you see something is not going well, you say no, I think there needs to be improvement from this area, okay? It's very, very important. Those are areas that we share, we will be able to adjust for next year. So it's a very good time for you to share with us what you think we can be able to do for you, and also as we continue with our programming for the rest of this year, and also see the way forward. We want this television to grow with you, and want you to be a part of the journey that we're walking, and also make sure that it's a very, very important one. But if you have any other important issue that you want to share, and you feel like you don't want to actually share it on the social media platforms of the television, you can walk straight on Weatherhead Park Lane. That is plot number 39A, that is in Arua City. That's where you can be able to get in touch with the management, and also take a walk around the television station and enjoy the atmosphere that is provided at the television. What is it that is very, very important? And it's so good that you'll be able to enjoy the reception that you have, we have at the television. But let's move away from that and discuss some stories that are happening in the country. Remember the issues with the mother case and many other issues is what is happening in this country, and we've seen a lot of issues to do with partners or spouses going astray, one killing the other, and also many others are really not appreciating to live together. And this is brought by financial indiscipline, okay? Financial indiscipline, because really if you have like your salary is 100,000 per month, and you have been able to give 50,000 for to cater for other family needs, and you keep or save 15,000 Ugandan shillings monthly, this, I think, will not be having any other issue. If the other party, especially the woman, is also doing some petty work, or maybe you give her 30,000 to start a business, this is enough. Very, very important. But if you leave your wife to just stay at home, and you don't really take her to or empower her with any financial assistance, and you feel like maybe if she starts getting money, she will not be able to respect you, she will not be able to maybe give you that discipline, she will not be able to maybe stay at home, you are actually killing the game, okay? So what you should be able to appreciate is that we are all equal, and as women, when you are working, if you are in a working class, maybe self-employed, maybe employed formal by other organizations or government and so on, please make sure that family is family, okay? When you are at home, have that respect for the family, and as well the man who is also struggling to get some money should have the respect, and we make sure that we put things in common pool. I mean women, the wife should be able to put some money, and also the husband should be able to put some money. That's where you will see people grow very, very together, okay? They'll be able to have that correlationship, and children will be able to learn from them. But if you are people who do not really get united, the woman is keeping her money and says that my salary is for my beauty, is for my own consumption, for my family, maybe my mothers and my parents. This is where you get it wrong. So it's upon this, if we can't change the mentality, if we can't change the attitude, we will not be able to move very far. We will not be able to actually do something better for our family. one hand will not take the family to grow very far. So it's upon all of you to actually do it together. Sometimes you find that because the man has given him all from him, he's having nothing to add on. You see that the women feel like this is not really right. They have not been able to help the family. The husband has abandoned them. All these statements, you start seeing them, and this results into those kind of conflicts that you always see. And it's quite unfortunate that this comes at a wrong time, where people are staying, relaxing, and they are not having so much to take home, but rather spend the little that they have already gathered. And this brings a lot of disunity. It brings a lot of gender-based violence. It brings a lot of domestic violence and many other aspects that are enshrined under the gender-based violence. So this is where really we have to take keen interest. We have to do a lot in sensitizing the masses, in sensitizing every person at every homestead or household level. We have to actually engage parents on parenting, engage people on financial discipline, engage people on their responsibilities, engage people on teamwork. This can take people far in terms of raising children together, in terms of also helping one another when there's a challenge. Okay, when there's a challenge, this is very, very important. But also many others people, many other people. That's why you see sometimes you see single parenting taking shape in many of our communities. Okay, because maybe me as a man, I fail to maybe take over the responsibilities that are said to be for the husband, because everyone depends on me, and my salary is maybe very little. I can't take it all. That's where you see sometimes divorce comes in. Most of them are illegal divorce. It's not formal. You see people saying, I don't want that woman again. I don't want this one again. I'm tired. I want to leave this home. You see that those things, those utterances always really take toll because of those kind of things. But if you work together, if you have that passion, if you have that heart that you married this man because you want to grow with her or him, okay, that is where you'll be able to appreciate that whatever you have to do should be in line with what you feel can be able to bring you all that you see is difficult to an ease way you can be able to progress. So that is it. And if you share, you grow together. If you don't share, you will not grow. Sometimes they say if you want to walk a longer distance, you have to walk it with other people. That's when you will not get tired. But if you want to really reach a very fast and you want to walk alone, you will be getting tired, and sometimes you will not even reach because you want to rush. You can crash at any time, and that's when the teamwork is appreciated at that moment. So sharing is a blessing, sharing is believing, sharing is when one way you can be able to really uplift one another. It keeps you really in a journey when all of you will feel like, okay, wow, it's worth, and we should be able to do it the way it should be. Okay, that is it. But also I highlighted that the UPDF has done reshufflement in some of the offices rankings and shown, and this is done in good faith. According to the president, actually this will be able to make sure that there's sanity, there's discipline, there's also some of the people have actually lost it in the direction he wants to actually go, and that's why really some of these reshufflements come about. But we may not talk so much about that. You know, the issues of security are mostly really considerate. Okay, they look at it in different angles. Okay, one of it might be underperformance. Maybe secondly might be you remember the story of some of the officers who backed off in the war front in DRC. Okay, where the ambush was, there was an ambush on the UPDF detached. Okay, so that those officers who were tried were interdicted, and this came back to the commanders. Why did you leave those officers to misbehave like that? And this could be one of the regions, hidden regions that has not been brought out very, very well here. And that's one thing that we should be able to understand. And that's why I told you the issues of reshufflements in security forces cannot come just like a storm, cannot come without anything cooking behind. And those could be some of the regions that are behind there. But definitely, it's for the best benefit of the security fraternity. It's best for the interest of the city or the citizens. I mean, the nationals, the people of Uganda, because the Uganda People's Defense Forces is entirely there to defend the rights of the people and also their common interest in terms of the property, the lives and property, and defend the nation. Also, if you go for a war and you decide to run away, they back off because of the fire extinct that they show that maybe their life would have been in danger. You see that is one thing that is quite unfortunate there, and it shows a very bad image for an army that has been actually praised for quite a number of years for keeping the country safe and also making sure that there's no war in Uganda from that time, that is 1985 up to date. We have not been able to see really war breaking in Uganda seriously. That has been able to destabilize the whole nation, where you see a lot of information running about people running for asylum and so on. That is one thing that is there. And if you look at that story and you understand all those statements that have been quoted, you realize that it's not easy for maybe somebody to manage the security, but as a commander, you have to really play your game very, very smartly. If somebody is not able to understand the command, maybe put him down and let him be within, and maybe serve under a different command, because really you have to work as a team if you want to defeat a war, if you want to maybe defend together with a very strong force. So if you don't have that morale, if you don't have people to support you as a commander, you may not really do much. And that's why sometimes some of these reshufflements come. Sometimes the military court is set there aside to listen to some of these concerns that always come at such a time. Okay, that is what is actually happening there. But also many other issues are happening. Remember the replacement of Ramadhan Mombaje, who is the Supreme Qadi and the national leader for the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, who was actually set aside or put aside, waiting, was supposed to remain aside as the swearing in. Remember the swearing in of the Mufti recently really brought a lot of issues, and currently there's already a directive that all the people who do businesses with Uganda Muslim Supreme Council should put the business transactions at hold at the moment, as all the accounts have been stopped from being engaging in those transactions. They want to do serious audit of what has been happening. Okay, that's one thing. And also you remember the saga of the national mosque, that is the Gaddafi mosque, that was actually at the verge of being sold off by the business, the money lenders. Okay, this was one big issue there that was happening at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. And if you look at that, you realize that most of the Muslims were annoyed over the issue because a lot has not been able to be able to clarify why some of these issues were coming up. And this audit is coming up because of the irregularities that we are seeing in the transactions, but also looking at what the leadership did without the people who were supposed to sit, especially the council or the delegation of Muslims who were supposed to sit down to actually address some of these issues. Some of the issues were including the issues to do with the land, the Iranians land transactions, or the borrowings that were without the consent of the General Assembly of the Muslims. And you realize that many people were actually annoyed over this, and you saw a lot of court issues coming up, and also some Muslims were stopped from attending the National Assembly that was organized for the delegates. Okay, so that is one thing that is currently happening. So in some of the updates that you see, that people who are dealing in transactions, especially who are maybe paying money, who are maybe using the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council name to do their own businesses, have been actually blocked for now until further notice. And that's according to the Mufti of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Currently he's actually saying that there'll be nothing like accepting to do any transaction as of now. That is according to Shobi. Shobi is actually now the Mufti currently, and he has appointed many other Muslim leaders in different positions as in the executive of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. And according to him, this is to pave way for investigations to continue as Mubaje remains sidelined, and to actually audit what his tenure has been. Now looking at the fact that some of the transactions were erroneously done, and as much as Mubaze retaliated that his signature was forced, that was not him, and so on. But the fact remains that he has been found guilty of doing those kind of transactions, especially according to the court that Uganda Muslim Supreme Council entered into a transaction and into a borrowing from the money lenders, and the money lenders were supposed to use the organization, that is the religious grouping, that is mostly the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council had shown him the national mosque, that is Gaddafi Mosque, and many other land that are for the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council to be as collateral for the money that was lent to the organization to do their businesses, to do their developments, and so on. So how was this money used? Who borrowed it, and who were the particulars in the business, and also many other things is what is currently happening. And remember, the president actually said you cannot sell the national mosque. That is like one point of tourism attraction to Uganda. So you cannot sell the Gaddafi Mosque which is situated at the heart of Kampala, which is one of the biggest mosques that you have in the country. So this is how far the war within the clerics or the big leaders of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council is concerned, but also many other Muslim groupings, especially the Chibuli faction, is just quiet about that, and you realize that there are even more of these factions that want to come out of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. This is because of the divergence of opinions and also the failure to actually respect the opinions of the leaders of the people within the Islam. Okay, so these are the regional leaders, especially the ones who are actually presiding over they call it the prayers at a regional level. Talk about the district cadis and so on. The district cadis have been able to actually share a lot of the stories and also a lot of issues with the leaders above them, but these have never been respected, and this is actually bringing more divisionism up to the grassroots among the descendants or the flocks under the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and this is where how far it has gone. So it's a worth that these investigations be done, and also the results, if maybe the report be be published, so that really the Muslims now calm down, and they'll be able to understand that really something happened here and it has been actually worked on. So if that is done, then people will be able to restore, that will actually be able to restore sanity, and there will be a need to go down to grassroots to preach to people the good news, and also encourage them to actually stick to one religion. But ideally, if you have seen most of the religion that have been formed out of the major religion that you may talk about the Christianity, the Islam and so on, the two, you realize that many other fake religions have already come out. Others are geared towards mobilizing for resources and people doing a lot of fundraisings and so on. But we have seen some of them have not been able to preach the word of God, but instead they are using the terms in some of the Bibles to actually con people. So that's one thing we should be vigilant of, and also maybe as the authority responsible for regulating the creation of the religious institutions, they should be able to work on some of these kind of things, because I've seen that many other people want to go into markets to destabilize people from concentrating on their businesses, and sometimes they go with even bags to collect food. Okay, that is really contrary to what a religion is supposed to do. It should be a center of reflection for people. It should be a center of education for people, holistic religious nurturing of the people in a peaceful manner. Not really a point of fundraising for the so-called founders of such religious groupings. So that's what we should be able to really take keenly, and be able to actually understand from it, and be really regulate some of those to avoid some of the cases of people being extorted. Remember the issues of people dying, being told that there's Jesus who is there in Ethiopia, people should go and see, and many people wasted a lot of their resources in terms of transport, in terms of food, in terms of any other thing that they are running to see. And yet this is not really something that is true. Let's take a break from here. We'll be able to actually come back to wind up the discussions in this last segment with many national and international stories that are happening across the globe, and we'll be back shortly after this break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Serve your family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTimes upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on satellite decoder simply pay 20,000 shillings special bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy smart bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
This is time for working hard and producing and able to help somebody who is in need. Able to give to your loved ones. This is time for giving, for God so loved us and gave his only begotten Son. Do not go taking, give, and then you will receive. If you are planning to rob somebody, listen to me carefully, God is not happy with that. If you are planning to steal people's things, God is not happy with that. Destroy everything that makes you an enemy of your neighbor. It's only God who can destroy those tendencies in your life and that habit in your life, so that instead of taking, you are a giver, because we need to demonstrate love in our time. Again, this is not time for sexual immorality, but this is time for us to prepare ourselves to receive the blessing of God. Many of us are going to waste our bodies in going into people's homes and going with people's wives and going with people's daughters, and we are going to waste our lives out there. Listen, this is time for you to open your heart, open your hands, and receive the blessing of God. I speak to people who are listening to me. If you are listening to me and you are in West Nile, my region, will you make your body the temple of the Holy Spirit and guard it? Allow your body to be used to bless our region. Do not destroy somebody's relationship by misusing his wife or his daughter. Allow yourself to be a channel of blessing, because God brings you his life in order to bless other people. Again, this is not time for dancing the whole night. Some people are going to go into dancing spree, in discos and everything the whole night. In my place where I am seated, the devil has only given and deprived people who are wizards to dance at night. Why do they dance at night? Because they dance naked, which they can't do during the day. Why are you deprived of sleep when you should eat and drink and praise God and go to bed and sleep? Then go and worship God tomorrow without a hangover. Dancing at night, going to spend time out there with other women, with other girls, with other men, is not going to give you any benefit of celebrating such a day as this. And this is the time for praises. This is a time for worship of God, because God has given us a gift that we cannot afford.
People of West Nile, first of all, Christmas is just a moment. Like Emma said, when you get taken up by the excitement, please make sure you have the ability to hold yourself. We still need you. Life is the most important. Whether you're driving or you're drinking, please drive, drink, enjoy responsibly. Number 2, be a brother's keeper. Oftentimes we tend to think just about ourselves, but think about everybody who's around you. Tomorrow we shall need each other. Enjoy yourselves, Merry Christmas, and have a blessed 2024.
To my people of West Nile, coming back home is always a pleasure. It's always something that I really look forward to, because home is where the heart is. So the youth, let us engage in the things that are going to, change our lives for the better. To this Christmas, I just want to wish you nothing but the best. A very, very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2024. And like Emma said, family is everything.
Hello viewers, my name is Federick Dramadri. I report news at West Nile Television. I also do the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday, discussing the issues on current affairs from the hour of 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2024.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that commercial break, and earlier we're discussing many issues within Uganda, but let's move to our neighbors. Okay, it's a very, very important thing for us to actually dive outside now. And if you look at most of the stories outside there, you will realize that the issues to do with the landslides and mudslides is still a very big talk across the African countries. Okay, I will talk about if you remember the 160 people who actually got a lot of injuries, a lot of maybe destruction of their property and so on in Tanzania. This did not actually spare out Kenya and DRC, and these are the same countries that are actually suffering from the shame. And you realize that for DRC, yesterday around 20 people were confirmed dead, and this many others, around 150 others were injured, and some of them are said to have gone missing. That is one thing that is happening. Remember, in April, actually in May this year, there were reports that 50 people were actually 156 people were confirmed dead in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Ituri province. This is coming because of the flooding of the river that is crossing the basin, okay, the Congo basin, and this river moves up to the lake that you call you may talk about coming to Lake Victoria and connecting to other major lakes in East Africa, and that is what is actually happening there. So when this river actually flooded, it actually caused a lot of destruction, a lot of property were actually destroyed, a lot of people lost their lives. Currently, there's emergency rescue that has been called on, and also DRC currently is also having a lot of issues as far as rescuing people is concerned. But if you look at some of the issues that are happening there in terms of rescue, there are so many bodies that have not been got. But in May's situation, around 500 people were actually found missing. Okay, and according to the local reports. But this is one thing actually that we should be able to address as nations. This is quite unfortunate that we need to actually design disaster management plans, and this should be funded. When we have disaster response plan and we are able to actually fund them or finance them locally, we will be able to actually sustain this kind of thing. But if we don't have the plan, and even if we have it and we don't finance it, it will be idle. It will not really be able to be utilized by most of the people who are there. So it's a very important thing, since most of the African countries find themselves into the challenges of flooding, mudslides, and so on. This is a region that we should be able to utilize our disaster management plans or disaster prepared or disaster restoration plans, very active now, and the committees should be really funded seriously and will be well motivated. We have seen situations like fire outbreaks where you call people to come and rescue the situation, but they have to take their own time, citing a lot of challenges like manpower, electricity, I mean not electricity, but sometimes fuel and so on. These are things that always come. Sometimes also even the water that is supposed to be got to put off fire is something sometimes people fail to actually give in time, and sometimes the issues of transport is another issue there. That's why we say that we should be able to really put into resources in as far as the utilization of the disaster management plan or restoration plans or response plan is funding it or financing it locally is what all the nations should be able to do in order to really make sure that people are able to be safeguarded, but also people from the risky areas, risky places. I mean, maybe if this is an annual area where you see floods being coming in or happening and so on, you should be able to relocate such people away from that. And I like what Uganda government is actually trying to do, where you see a lot of people constructed the houses and taken out of the Bududa area, that is in the Budubujo district, where you see a lot of people always affected by the mudslides. Okay, so you realize that since the government looked at that as a bigger issue that needed to be addressed, this year we have not registered so much of those landslides or even flooding issues and so on that we used to see in Mbale areas and also Mbarara and so on, those areas of Mbamba that you always talk about. And you will see a lot of disaster prone areas being evacuated or people moving away from them, and that's what we want to see in other countries, because really the people are actually the wealth or the assets of a nation. They can easily bring you income, but they can easily also destroy the income. So that's what you should be able to know. If you have a well or a quality population that you're able to engage with, that you can easily tap onto, that's where you can be able to get a lot of resources from, okay, where you can be able to actually get enough or utilize a lot of things from that. And if we move further doing that by maybe providing land to restore our maybe relocate people, transfer people, and also make sure that people settle in dry areas. It can go a long way in saving resources in terms of every time spending a lot of money in responding to disaster, but taking people earlier will actually save money for the government, but actually ideally improve actual services in terms of that. But also you are aware that in those areas where there are a lot of floods, there are always outbreaks of diseases and also many other things that you always see. But for me to you now, we are concluding the discussions here. We'll be having next the news in Lugbarati that will be brought to you by Feta Emmanuel, and the year after we'll be having many other programs coming up next. But also behind the camera is Dijon Pro, and also my producer Aldo is there in the production. We appreciate your time from the start of the show, that is from the hour of 7 up to this time, that is 10 minutes to 9 a.m. where we'll be having the newsroom team coming up next. But also we appreciate that you have been part of this show, and we appreciate you so much, and we meet again tomorrow on the same show, and also discussing pertinent issues of the day. My name is Federick Dramadri. I'm out of the studios. Thank you.